My brother told me the next time he sees me, he wants it to be at a funeral. And I was like, I don't even go to funerals. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Bad little flex, she wanna know me. I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep.
Young hearts, I believe that we are not far from becoming who we truly are. Love is on its way. That's one of my favorite Jonas Brothers songs. Love is on its way. I'm not too sure if I'm going to the Jonas Brothers concert this year. And this is the first time I've ever felt this since I was 12 years old. I've been a Jonas Brothers fan for 18 years. It's just... for me to like a white person, whether it's an artist, a friend, you have to be very clear with how you feel about what's going on in the world. That's just where I'm at. Due to the fact that I've had white friends, people who I thought were my friends, according to Dr. Umar, you can't have white friends as a black person, but but I've had white friends who I thought were my friends and then found out they don't like black people. So, like I said, you got to be clear with how you feel about what's going on in this world. As a white person, for me to like you and the Jonas Brothers, they be silent. They be silent, dropping their AI songs every other day. The music sounds bad. It sounds really, really, really bad. There's no oomph in it. There's no Lori seasoning in it. It used to be, it used to be tasty. Now it's just mayonnaise. So mayonnaise. I don't know what needs to happen. I don't know what has changed. I don't know, but it's mayonnaise. But like, the older white people get, the whiter they get. You know what I mean? Like, once they start getting old, they're like, oh, the black shit, the cool shit, out the door. Let's be white now. And I guess, but I'm not joining the party. The music is trash. They got an album coming out. Don't know if I'm going to listen to it. I'm just like, what happened? What happened? They're just white now. I mean, of course they were always white, but you get what I'm saying. Like, white people, they be so hip, at the teenage, you be seeing older pictures of them and they be doing all this, but they get older and they start wearing that red hat. They get real conservative real quick. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll be going. And that's just sad because I heard they're going to be playing some of their older music. It's just bad. But anyways, hello guys. Welcome to episode 184 of As Your Big Sister with your host, me, Asia My Queen, a podcast that gives you big sister advice from a big sister who wish she had a big sister. However, I could never be better than me. But I do wish I had a big sister. There's just things that younger sisters don't have to go through because they have an older sister to tell them what's up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I didn't have an older sister, but I had a teen mom. Oh my God. My mom got pregnant with me at 17. And because, 17 years is a big age gap, but not that big when it's like mother and daughter, right? So she's still growing up. Like when I think about the fact that my mom was 23 when I was in kindergarten, it's like, what? You know what I mean? I had all these expectations of this woman and she was 23 years old. Are you kidding me? But my mom really felt like a big sister to me. Of course, my mom, you know what I mean? Like she didn't play that for real. Like, yeah. But she would put me on game about some of the things the boys was doing. You know what I mean? She would tell me, she'd be like, hey, listen, the boys ain't gonna like you now. Right? They're not gonna like you now. Because I would come home, I'm like, Mom, I just want to be liked by a boy. And she understood. You know, some people's parents are like, well, don't like boys. You're not supposed to like, let's be real. Okay. Let's be honest. Right? We like boys. We like girls. The first time I fell in love was with, his name was, oh, that's so bad. Nathaniel Kuhn. And he was white. What? But, I fell in love with him. I was 5 years old. This is so Leo coded of me, but like, I would draw pictures of myself and gift it to him. He got sick. So I drew a picture of myself and I gave it to his mom. And I was like, hey, can you give this to him? And she was like, oh, yeah. And she came back. She goes, he loved it. And I was like, thank you. He would let me lay in his lap and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. But I would come home and I'd be like, Mom, the boys don't like me, whatever. And she'd be like, listen, because she had just left school. 23, 24 years old. She just graduated. But she would be like, listen, this is how they treat black girls right now. You're going to get older and you're not going to be able to get them off of you. And I'd be like, whatever. I don't know what she's talking about. Baby, girl, my milkshake be bringing all the boys to the yard. And I don't want none of them. My God, the way these men aged like milk. I'm like, okay, you like me now, but like when you're ugly. Okay, no shade. Okay, let me stop. But like, you like me now when you're ugly. No, girl. Anyways. Y'all, I got some tea. This is too much. I'm like the chillest person on the planet, right? Yes, I'm loud. Yes, I do have a big personality, but internally I'm chill, if that makes any sense. Like I like to kick back, talk shit, you know what I mean? Watch some documentaries, eat some hot Cheetos, smoke a little bit. Like I'm not hype. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be doing too fucking much. That's just me in life. The tea I'm about to tell you guys is just so annoying. Okay. I tell you guys that I'm chill due to the fact that I don't be all up in the mix. I don't be all up in people's face. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't be doing too much. I have my friends, I have my partner, and I just try to move through life, right? I'm not in a bunch of friend groups. I don't know a lot of people. It's just me, right? I like it like that, right? Okay. But I be in everybody's close friends. And I think I'm in everybody's close friends due to the fact that I just be chilling. Right? I'm not screenshotting your shit and sending it to somebody. I'm not doing none of that. I just be chilling. I just be reading through people's stuff and moving on. There's this girl, very pretty young lady. She's about 6-7 years younger than me. So very young lady. So she's like 23, 24. Very pretty. You know, bad makeup. That's all, bad makeup, right? Foundation is way off of her skin color. We all got to go through it though, right? Like the rite of passage to becoming a bad bitch is by having bad makeup. It is. If you think for 1 second, the first time you gonna put on some makeup, you just gonna be eating it, you're delusional. You gotta think you're eating it for a long time until you actually eat it. It just is what it is. If you want to be a bad bitch, just know that it is a process. You're going to look crazy for a very long time. Okay? Her foundation's really off. And I've seen her in a couple people's close friends where they're making fun of her makeup. I personally didn't like it. By the third time I saw somebody post her, I was like, I'm done, right? I'm done. I need to come to her with this. I would never respond. I see it. Okay, let me get that out the way. Get that out the way. But I started feeling fake because I follow her, like her pictures, call her pretty, because she is. I started feeling fake. So I was like, okay, let me message her and let me, you know what I mean? Let's hook her up, so she could get that right and she could pop out and nobody will have nothing to say no more. You get what I'm saying? That's what my plan was, right? So let's read this message together. I replied to the story. I said, you look so beautiful. I'm not sure if it's the foundation, powder, or concealer, but I recommend to go a little darker for a better blend. Bam. That's it. That's all. Right? Right. Okay. Then she replies, hey, hun. When I read that part, I was like, okay. Because, baby, who's hun? Who's hun? Who's hun? Who's hun? All right. She said, hey, hun. I'm not sure if you know, but it's 2025. And with all due respect, I'm going to do my makeup how I like it. I should have stopped reading there, but I didn't. I don't come under your socials saying I recommend thicker eyebrows or commenting that you should blend your lip liner out a little more. I recommend just scrolling next time or clicking past my story. Let me just preface this by saying I seen you were a Shelly fan from Love Island. And then I should have stopped. I had multiple opportunities to stop reading this message because it's so juvenile, so childish. What are we talking about? First of all, Shelly and Olandria were doing bright under eyes. That's different from putting white foundation on a black face. That's different. However, let's just continue reading. Let me just preface this by saying I seen you were a Shelly fan from Love Island, and I know you've seen her makeup on the show and the comments of people saying her concealer is too orange or too bright. Now, you wouldn't go and leave her a DM over it, right? Right. Take it lightly, boo. And this is where I need to invite God back into the bedroom. God. Okay, come in. All right. Come on, God. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? Oh, see. Let's bring God back into the room, because when I first read this, I didn't read that part. Take it lightly, boo. Because then it gets you asking yourself, or what? Do you know what I'm saying? But anyways, take it lightly, boo. And always remember, lighting and angles change everything on the gram. Okay. All right. There's a lot, but let's start here. I hate when people talk in screenshot. Does that make sense to some of you? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say talk in screenshot? They send you a message that you know for a fact they would never say to you. It doesn't even sound like a person. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't even sound like a person. What it sounds like is an opportunity for you to share this message with other people. Oh, and then I said that. And I hope she's not doing that, because that's embarrassing. That would be very embarrassing, and not to me. And if she shared that with other people and people are like, yeah, they are fake. Because it is clear as day that her foundation is way lighter than her skin tone. And it's not because of lighting, and it's not because of angles, which the angles part, I'm like, no. It is clear. So anybody that would be like, yeah, girl, you told her off. Yeah, like say that shit. Anybody who's doing that, delusional. Fake. But this is not the first time in the last 2 weeks that I've been mildly cursed out for being honest. And my honesty really coming from a good place, right? You know how when you're like, I did this because I would want someone to tell me this? That's kind of how I roll. You know what I mean? Like, I want somebody to tell me when I'm fucking up. I want somebody to tell me when my makeup's looking crazy, or, I don't know, like my breath stinks, my armpits stink. I want somebody to tell me. However, we live in a world where people are pussy. Like, I hate to say it, like, and I'm sorry to any of you who are pussy, but like, people are pussy, and majority of people in this world are very soft. I'm a soft girly, but when it comes to bettering myself, I'm going to need you to be honest with me about the way I smell, the way my feet stink and my breath stink, and maybe I got a stain on my shirt. I'm going to need you to tell me. But what I've realized is the fact that a lot of people are really scared of the mirror. They're really, really scared of the mirror, and the mirror being the truth. And when you put up the mirror they will attack you for putting it up. And because we have to exist in a world where there are so many people who are soft and like being lied to, we have to figure out how we can navigate this world by being honest, right? Being honest with who we are, but also understanding the fact that a lot of people, majority of people, like being lied to. And I don't know how to go about that. I really don't. I talked to my partner about this, this whole message because, you know, it's been on my mind today because I just want people to know that I'm coming from a good place. I would never message somebody out of hate, right? Talking about their makeup. You know what I mean? Like that, what? That doesn't make any sense. And my partner was like, maybe it would have been easier if she was close to you or really knew you. And I was like, yeah. However, I still did not feel comfortable knowing that, like I said, I was following her and people were talking about her. And I'm there. Like I didn't feel nice. I think this is a situation where you can't win them all. And maybe that's just what we have to accept, is that we can't win them all. Sometimes some people are going to take what we say and they're going to be like, oh, thank you for letting me know that. But you are going to run into people who are going to, hey, hun, take it lightly, boo. You're going to run into that. I was told that what was it specifically? My brother told me the next time he sees me, he wants it to be at a funeral. And I was like, I don't even go to funerals. I don't even do funerals. So it's like, okay. But what I had to say to him, I had to say to him, right? It was something that I had to bring to light. Like, hey, this is going on. How can I help? And he didn't like that. And, there's a lot of take me as I am or leave or da, da, da. There's a lot of that energy in this world, especially now because, Amaya and Love Island, she's very, like if you can't accept me for being, acting like a baby and having terrible communication skills, then leave. On one hand, I love the fact that you guys are loving who you are. But on the other hand, I'm like, hear people out a little bit. Hear people out. Maybe I shouldn't have sent that message. Maybe no, I definitely should have come to my brother what I came to him about. But maybe I shouldn't have sent that message. Maybe I could have worded that message better. Maybe I could have worded what I what I came to my brother better. I'm just trying to figure it out. But what I do know is life was a lot easier when I was a scumbag. Life was a lot easier when I was a liar. Like you just be seeing people that are just total pieces of shit. And they're just grinning ear to ear. And I feel like now that I've got some morals, I've got some rules, I've got some self-respect, and then that bleeds over to respect for other people. I don't know. It hasn't been working out for me too well. Because if you think about it, a lot of people don't have respect for themselves. So they see you having some type of morality, having some type of respect, coming with some rules up in this bitch, and they're like, "Wait, how can you talk to me like that? How could you tell me that I needed a darker foundation? How could you tell me, I don't even want to talk about what it was that I approached my brother with, but you just we just have to realize that we are going to lose sometimes when we're being honest. You can't have it all, right? Literally, when she sent me that message, I just liked it. I was like, okay, girl. All right. You know what I mean? Okay. Because what do I say back to this? Like, am I going to argue with you about your makeup? Y'all, if you if you ever find me arguing on social media, DM me and ask me if I'm okay. What do I look like? Talking about some, yeah, but you are da da da, but you are da da da, and then get on my story, this but da 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 da, and then what? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand when people be getting on social media, arguing with each other. Like, fight or shut up. Someone beat someone up or shut up. I can't see myself typing and just like being on my phone, just typing away. Like, what? Trying to read somebody? Like, I don't know. I doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, if you ever see me arguing with someone on social media, just check in with me. Ask me if I'm okay. But I also think that when you're a Black woman and you are and you come across people who don't surround themselves with Black people on a regular basis. Oh God, sorry guys, my camera died. But what I was saying is, when you're Black and you're speaking to somebody who chooses, doesn't matter, who usually doesn't surround themselves around other Black people, it is a possibility that they can take your words and misconstrue them. Because the Black girl, the Black girl is always so big, bad, and scary. She's so scary. I could literally be like, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, 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 really. And they'll take it as, bitch, tell me what the fuck you want. Put your motherfucking hands up, nigga. Put the. So in a way, you can't really win for losing. Which is why, again, I talk a lot about safe spaces and how important it is for us Black women to be in our safe spaces. You're going to experience a lot of the, oh my God, I'm so offended by everything you say. It's going to drive you crazy. Yeah. So I have to take that into consideration as well. Not everybody hangs out with Black people. So not everybody knows how Black people talk. We are passionate. We talk with our hands. Sometimes we're a little loud. Sometimes we exaggerate things. That's just who we are as people. So, like I said, if you ain't used to it, racism is going to make you think that I'm being aggressive and mean. And girl, whatever. And the thing is that for me, I like a straight shooter. If you're trying to tell me something, tell it to me. Don't be like, I believe you are the greatest worker in the entire world. I believe that you're always on time. You're always getting your work done. You're always coming in with a positive attitude, but you are fired. Girl, you could have just told me I was fired. You could have just texted me, you're fired. I'm okay. I don't need all of that. I don't need all the fluffy stuff. But like I said, majority of this world is very PUSSY. They need things sugar-coated. I mean, don't be rude to me. There was a time where my eyebrows was looking crazy. Okay. Your girl's eyebrows was looking insane. I'd get hate comments on my videos on TikTok, on my videos on YouTube, on my videos on Instagram and everything. I would get comments saying, oh my God, your eyebrows ugly as fuck. Oh my God, da, da, da. And I just thought the girls were being haters. I was like, oh my God, like they're just hating on me. They're just hating on me because they hate me. Until this girl DM'd me and she was like, hey, I think you should thin out your eyebrows a little bit. And I did that. Homegirl saved my life. And at that moment, I was able to look back and I was like, oh my God, my eyebrows looking crazy. But like I said, that's just me. That is just me. I've been taking these workout classes. I told you guys about them last episode. But I've been taking these workout classes. And there are times where the instructor comes up to me and is like, what are you doing with those weights? You need to go up some. Do I take offense to that? Oh my God, they're just picking on me. They just doing it because no. I'm like, all right, cool. I really appreciate when someone sees more in me than I see in myself. Because what most people do is they watch people drown. They watch people self-destruct. And I appreciate it when someone comes up to me and it's like, hey, let me get you together real quick. And it feels genuine. It feels helpful. They're not trying to make you feel bad for just not knowing. It feels like someone's trying to give you a helping hand. But that's just me. That's how I perceive criticism. And I don't even want to think of it as criticism. I perceive it as help. Because we don't know everything. But you know what? I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start minding my own business. I'm going to start minding my own business. Yeah. I told myself, Asia, let's give yourself about 4 days to mind your own business. You ain't going to confront anybody on nothing. You ain't, even if they ask you, because the girls be asking me, hey, what do you think I should do here? Da, 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 da. I'm just going to mind my business. All the advice that I got is staying on this podcast and in my journal. The girls can't handle it. And it's not like, I personally don't feel like I'm putting my nose into people's business. With homegirl, with the makeup, like I said, I've been seeing some close friends. I've been seeing people clown her. So I felt like, okay, let me step in. Like I said, she's a black girl. She's 23, 24 years old. Like, ugh. That's just who I am. But I do think that I need a little break from the girls. Because the girls don't want my help. And the girls say they don't need my help. So you know what? Let me step back, okay? Let me step back. Like I said, it's just going to be on the podcast, in my journal, stopping it there. Because the girls like to be lied to. The girls are delusional and not in the right areas. I'm going to say all that to say this. As your big sister, if you guys are wanting to do the light under eye concealer, I recommend you to go a little darker in your foundation, just so that when that concealer mixes with your foundation, it doesn't get really, really white. And I also recommend to put your back into the bronzer. So when you're bronzing your face after you put on your concealer, I'm going to need you to put your back into the blending, okay? Because you don't want it to be white. I'm getting what you guys are doing. I used to do the really bright under eye concealer. I get what you guys are doing, okay? Do the bright under eye, bronze your life away. It's affirmations time, baby. Bounce, whatever, bounce, whatever, bounce, whatever. Affirmations, go, oh, oh. Thank you, Intelligent Change, for my affirmations cards. All right, let's go. Let's get to shuffling, baby. And the bass keeps running, running, and running, running, and running, running, and running, running. Okay. I radiate positive energy from my being. Speak it into existence. Yeah. Because earlier with the keep it lightly, boo. Almost had Lucifer coming in and taking over my body. Oh. Your girl is 30 years old. Oh my God. She's 30. Wow. My birthday was awesome. It was so cool. I saw Beyonce the next day. I had a really, really good time. It was really fun. I'm also having a little party this week. So it's just, we got a lot going on. We're just celebrate good times. Come on. I told myself, you're going to celebrate every mother black day in July. 30 years old. You know, and I could feel it. Like, I'm not physically a little bit, but like mentally, you know, I'm a lot more understanding. You know, I feel like I'm a lot more understanding. I'm considering where people are coming from, right? You know, before I would always be like, well, this is how I felt. This is how I felt. This is how I felt. And that's cool and all. Like, of course, you need to, you know, self-reflect and all those fun things. But like, I'm now understanding why people move the way they do. And it's a little daunting, I'm not going to lie, because a lot of the way people move is, you know, leading with their ego. Just the other day, I heard a phrase. This person was actually referring to Nicki Minaj, but they said, high ego, low self-esteem. And that really took me, because a lot of people are speaking out of their ass. A lot of people are speaking out of ego, right? And they need to hold on to that ego, because their self-esteem is in the garbage, right? And in the book that I'm reading, they talk about how like your self-esteem, well, one of the reasons why your self-esteem could be so in the fucking trash. Oh my God, I'm trying not to cuss. But like the reason why your self-esteem could be in the garbage is because your integrity is not there. You don't go by a moral code. There's things that you say that you're going to do, you don't follow through with it. There's characteristics that you say you have that you really don't. And you know it yourself, right? So you're going around saying, I'm that B, I'm that B, I'm that B, but you know that, I don't want to say you know that you aren't, but the way you behave, it doesn't align with who you know that B to be. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? So a lot of talking, a lot of captions, a lot of da 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 da, but there's no moral code. There's no rules that you go by. There's no follow up, right? All talk. And I just noticed that the way people respond to me is with their ego. And I don't like interacting with that. If I tell you something, and this is not just talking about homegirl with the foundation, but this is just in general. When I'm talking to people and when I feel like they're responding with their ego, I reject it, because I'm not coming with you like that, right? I'm not coming with you with the who's right, who's wrong, and am I gonna, you know what I mean? I'm not coming with you with trying to be smarter than you or trying to be more right than you. I'm just coming, right? Whoa, pause. But I'm just talking. I'm just trying to get to an understanding, whether we're disagreeing or we're just conversing. I'm just trying to exchange, right? I'm not trying to do the right, wrong thing. I'm not trying to do none of that. But I feel like there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people trying to prove that they're right, that they're better, that they're all these things. And it's like, I get it. It's a protection, right? It's because if you are secure in yourself, you don't have to do all that. Right? Like, you don't have to be in defense mode. You don't have to be in, oh, I need to prove that I'm right so bad. I need to prove that I'm right so bad. You would just chill. You would just go. It wouldn't even, right and wrong wouldn't even matter. Like, these days, I'm not getting defensive. I don't feel defensive. I don't feel when I'm being critiqued, when I'm conversing, I don't feel defensive. I don't feel like I have to say the smartest thing. I don't have to say the right thing. I just say, I'm leaving the door open to maybe changing my mind. Like, I just don't find it to be that serious. But I've also worked through and have been healing through the fact that I used to get my ass beat when I was a kid. And that's what a lot of the girls aren't doing. A lot of the girls are going into conversations having to defend the fact that they're right because they are fearful of getting their ass beat. So a lot of the people that we are interacting with us the way that they are because they're afraid that mommy or daddy is going to put their hands on them. That's why I believe that people need to stop putting their hands on their children, because they think that they're raising obedient people, but they're actually raising liars. They're actually raising people who constantly have to protect this ego of theirs. Now they're in relationships that they cannot communicate with properly if they can keep a relationship. So now we're going through this world having to interact with people that you ruined. Now, every time we're at the workplace, we can't say, oh, where is this? and someone actually tell us where exactly it's at. Have you ever been looking for something and the people know that you're looking for it, and the person probably takes it out of their purse or takes it out of their drawer and be like, oh, I found it. It was laying over here, knowing that they had it the entire time. And it would have been fine that they had it. You just need it right now. But their fear of someone being upset, which comes from their parents putting their hands on them, their fear of someone possibly being upset makes them a liar, makes them sneaky. And I blame the parents for raising people like that. Keep your hands off your children. Because I have to deal with shit like this. Stupid ass hey huns and anyways, that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Don't forget to tell everybody that I'm beautiful, kind, smart, and sexy. Follow me on Instagram, Asia My Queen. I'm possibly going to reactivate the podcast Instagram. I was just in my feelings when I deleted it, so I will reactivate. I said possibly, now I'm saying will. I will reactivate the As Your Big Sister podcast Instagram, so follow me on there. Follow me on As Your Big Sister TikTok, and also Asia My Queen on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Asia My Queen. Yeah. Again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching me. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.